I feel a cold flush going through my hair, and hey, you know what? I don't even care, the time has passed me by. It's gone with the wind, it's all because the sun shined once again. Now the party's on, everybody's there, even if you don't know anyone.
Hi guys, it's Naturally Mary here once again, and today I'm here to talk to you guys all about this hair. So if you want to learn more, then keep watching. Alright, so let's get into things. I shared with you guys my initial review of Queen Weave Beauty that I would be doing my install, and I asked for you guys to give me suggestions as to how I should layer the lengths of hair that I received. So I went for the longest layer at the top and the shortest at the bottom. So I did a 20 at the top, 18 in the middle, and 16 at the bottom, and guys, this is it. Like, this is what I was looking for. This is the perfect shape. I'm so glad some of you all suggested doing it this way. This is my dream hair, y'all. It is so perfect. So if you're wanting that heart shape, do this. Perfect. And y'all, this hair is just like, can I tell y'all? Listen, Queen Weave Beauty did their thing. The hair, I want to let you guys know that I did actually dye the hair. This is not the natural color that it comes in. It comes in like a, it says a natural color, but it's more so of a brownish, blackish color. Well, my hair is actually black, so I dyed this hair to pretty much match mine. So I did it a natural black using Feria hair color, and I'll show you guys that process later on in the video. But I did want to come on and show you guys the finished results. My hair is fully dry. It took a while for it to dry because it's so much hair, and what I did to allow the back to dry, I placed the unit on a towel and then I lifted the back. So I lifted it like this so the back can get time to air dry, and what that did is actually created more volume. So I had a little more lift when I put the unit on from flipping the unit forward on the towel, and then just throughout the day it allowed, and then just throughout the day, just the sun hitting it and the air getting to it, it's now fully dry. But it did take quite a while because it's so much hair. But I'm going to show you guys how I went about making the unit. This is my first time. I feel that I got the U part right. Every time I've done a U part unit, there's always been a glitch, but this one, perfection. I did actually install combs this time, and the combs are not, there's no tension, they don't hurt my head at all. Everything's just perfect, and I didn't even have to braid my hair in order to secure the combs and make sure that the unit doesn't go anywhere. And look, I can toss it all over the place and it's not going anywhere. I've always wanted to do that. And it looks like it's mine. Doesn't it look like it's mine? Like, this unit's not going anywhere. I was actually thinking the other day, and this is probably kind of silly, but I was thinking, what if somebody were to, you know how you have those little cat fights, or you know, you have a brawl and somebody ends up snatching somebody's unit out? So only if somebody decides to do something like that, which I'm a very nice person, so I don't think anybody would. Well, you can never be too sure these days, but I don't think anybody would ever do that. But unless somebody just comes and just being like reckless and they just decide to just snatch the unit, then it'll go somewhere then. But other than that, it's pretty secure. So let's get into this tutorial. For this install, you'll need a curved needle, of course, some thread, and a dome cap. I'm going to be using my bundles. I have 3, 20, 18, and 16. As stated earlier, I will be installing the hair in this order: 20 at the top, 18 in the middle, and 16 at the bottom. I am just adding a bag to my mannequin head just to make sure it fits my head. If you want a larger mannequin head, you can always order those on Amazon, but I just stuck with the styrofoam that I already had. Okay, so I'm going to install the 16-inch bundle first. I'm just taking my needle and I'm inserting it directly through the weft, and then I'm proceeding to sew on the weft. I don't have any type of strategy to sewing. I'm really not that good at sewing. If you actually looked at my stitching, it would not look that great, but it does the job.
I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but this is Queen Weed Beauty in their Brazilian Kinky Curly hair. I will leave the link down below for this particular hair, so look out for that in the description box. Typically when I do any type of install, I do the flip over method the entire time, but in this install I only do the flip over method at the bottom. At the top I begin cutting the wefts just so it will lay flat. I didn't want any bumps at the top. At this point I'm showing you guys where I'm putting my line for my parting. I'm not going to have that much parting. Where you see the white line, that's all the hair I'm leaving out, which is phenomenal. And the way that I'm doing this, in order to make sure I have enough hair and I'm not stuck at the end trying to figure out how I'm going to work this out, I went ahead and sewed on the hair around my parting at this point. So I did not wait until the end. I'm doing it midway. So I'm just using my push pins to help me to keep it into place, and then I'm going to proceed to sew. This method was so awesome. It's the best. It eliminates you from getting to the end and not having enough hair, and then you're having to leave out more hair than you expected. So yeah, I just sew this part in, and then I just fill in until I get up to this weft where I have the parting, if that makes sense. I hope it does, but just watch and you'll kind of understand where I was going. This is where I began to install or sew on the 18-inch bundle. For the 18 and the 20-inch bundle, I will be cutting the wefts just to fit them in and so they can lay flat. This shape is looking fire already. Right now I only have the 16 at the bottom and the 18-inch. So now I'm going to begin installing or sewing on the 20-inch. Keep watching. Honestly, I don't know what came over me. It was like a dancing spirit just dropped on me. So excuse this dance break, but this hair is fly though.
Look up and feel the shifting winds tossing us around again. Hold tight, get ready to begin and just levitate.
As I mentioned earlier, I did actually dye this hair a natural black to blend better with my hair. I don't show this in this clip, but I did actually define the curls using curling hands and smoothie and a mix of conditioner and water. Now I'm showing you guys how I prep my leave out. Let me tell you guys, this got to be glued and shea butter mix work wonders on my leave out. I usually have to do flat twists in order to blend my hair with curly textured hair, but this method worked so well. This would actually make for a great wash and go, I think, and it will allow for your hair to be much more stretched than it typically is. So I just simply took my hair and I stretched it around the circumference of my head, and when you see it later, you're going to see that it's stretched, not completely stretched because it's not actually straightened, but it is stretched a very good amount, and it will look like alfalfa, but once I actually blend it in with the unit, it looks so much better. Later on, and I don't show this in this actual video, but just as the week progressed, I decided to spray water on it and allow for the hair to actually look more natural and curly, rather than that straighter, just kind of flat look that it has once it's actually dried. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like, and I'm going to prep my edges using a toothbrush to get my baby hairs together. And yeah, then we're going to proceed to blend this hair. But y'all have to try this gel. I told a friend about it and it is life. You will not need edge control anymore. Okay, so it's the next morning. I'm taking off my silk bonnet. Look at those waves. You could drown in those. Like, this is killer. I was so pleased with the results. So this is a unit, and remember, I did define the curls. I love the way it turned out, and I don't have to leave out much hair at all the way I did it. Okay, you see what I mean? See how stretched it is? It looks so good. Kind of like alfalfa, but like, we're gonna get it together. Okay, so I'm just simply inserting the combs, and I'm just gonna begin to blend my hair with the unit. If you guys would like to see how I actually went about prepping the hair in the beginning prior to the install and what it looked like immediately out of the box, click on the eye at the top, and I'm going to include the last video as well as any other Kinky Curly videos that I've done. I have a playlist, so if you click on that eye, you will have access to that playlist with all the other types of hair that I've tried. I get so many questions about all the different Kinky Curly hair, so click the playlist or click the eye and it will lead you to that playlist. Look at that, y'all. Like, it looked like it grew out of my scalp. I'm in love, literally in love.
Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of my new subscribers. Thank you for all those who show me love every time that I produce a video. I really appreciate it. Love you guys. See you in my next video. Bye.